Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí tienen el horario para hoy, martes, el 11 de febrero. Your learning target for today is to be able to describe your ideal city and community. Your warm-up question for today, playing a little bit of Cupid Matchmaker. ¿Qué buscas en una novia? ¿Qué buscas en un novio? What do you look for? What would you look for in a boyfriend or girlfriend? Respond to that question by saying yo busco para alguien quien, and then, excuse me, and then the verb that comes after that is going to be in the subjunctive, because we don't know if this person really exists in real life, unfortunately, or maybe they do, but it's that uncertainty that requires the subjunctive. So maybe 2 or 3 descriptions of your ideal or dream significant other. Speed dating questions we'll do next, which are your responses or responses to the questions outlined in Activity 6. We'll review the notes that we looked at last class on the use of the subjunctive with adjective clauses, and it is these adjective clauses that you're creating in your ideal description, or your descriptions of an ideal boyfriend or girlfriend. And then, after reviewing those notes, we'll go over the guided practice responses to the activities 1, 2, and 4 on pages 68 and 69. We didn't get to those last class. We will get to those today. And then get started on your homework due next class, which is a composición personal, activity 7 on page 69. So diving in, first and foremost, let's take a look at those speed dating questions. Just a real quick bookkeeping thing. My apologies. There we are. It's going to bother me otherwise, and I'm not going to remember to change it. All right, page 69. This is what we looked at last class. The subjunctive, when used with adjective clauses, situations that call for those an adjective clause referring to a person, place, or thing, or describing a person, place, or thing that is clearly known or definite. And the indicative would be used in that case. Adjective clauses for the subjunctive, however, are used when, it says that at the top of 66, when the idea of this person, place, or thing does not exist or whose existence is uncertain, such as your ideal boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, those of you in a relationship could describe this person in the indicative, because you know this person exists. They are your boyfriend or girlfriend. For those of you still looking, you are uncertain as to whether or not this person exists, and therefore the subjunctive would be needed. So it's that inherent uncertainty that calls for the subjunctive in these adjective clauses, or indicative if there is a level of certainty. Just depends on the mood that you want to communicate there. So common verbs used in the subjunctive with adjective clauses, the verb buscar, such as the one you're looking at using for the warm-up question for today, the verb to look for, conocer, to know, encontrar, to find or to not find, haber, to exist, necesitar, to need, and querer, to want. Let's take a look at those speed dating questions, though. Activity 6. So you guys are going to ask these questions in the to form of each other to see how not necessarily compatible you are. I mean, that's what the activity's intent is. We're not legit dating, but speed dating pretend, just to kind of share with one another the things that we might be looking for in a significant other. So, for example, ¿te gusta cocinar? ¿Sabes cocinar? Do you like to cook, or do you know how to cook? Sí, me gusta cocinar. Maybe be specific. Sí, me gusta cocinar pasta, or sí, me gusta cocinar desayuno. Maybe you're a breakfast person like me. Love to cook breakfast. ¿Te gusta escuchar hip hop? And you're more than welcome to spice these up, change these. For example, country, jazz, música clásica, any genre of music. ¿Te gusta la política, el arte, los deportes, el cine, la música, whatever area or hobby of interest. ¿Te llevas bien con los animales? ¿Te llevas bien con los niños? ¿Te llevas bien con los gatos? ¿Te llevas bien con los perros? ¿Te llevas bien con los humanos? Who do you get along well with? Llevarse bien is to get along well. And again, modify it to your liking. ¿Tú eres vegetariano? ¿Tú eres limpio? ¿Tú eres optimista? ¿Tú tienes paciencia? ¿Tú eres una persona paciente? So spice these up, create a series of questions, and ask each other in the form of speed dating. We'll do a few rotations of that just to kind of get you all moving and using the language. We already reviewed just now the notes with the uses of subjunctive. If you guys look at the daily agenda video from the last agenda, you'll get the answers to these activities 1, 2, and 4. I don't want to go over those exhaustively because I did those already. So if you look at that video, activity 1, and then the reasoning for why the indicative or the subjunctive is used. Again, inherent with the level of certainty or uncertainty that's communicated in the main clause. So I went over the answers for activity 1, activity 2, and the reading comprehension questions for activity 4. Do take a look at those in the video agenda summary from last class. So I think it would be last Friday, I believe, Friday the 7th. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the composición personal, your homework for today, which relates to activity 7. La ciudad ideal. Escribe una pequeña composición en la que describas cómo es la comunidad ideal donde te gustaría vivir en el futuro y compárala, con la comunidad donde vives ahora. Use adjective clauses and the vocab from this section. Now, we're going to expand this not just to your ideal city, however, to your ideal life. For this assignment, you are to utilize the subjunctive or the indicative. I guess I should modify that, indicative or subjunctive, to express future hopes and aspirations for life after graduation. No need for to there. And actually thinking about it again, it's going to be mostly subjunctive because all of these are about the future, which is inherently unknown. This assignment includes 3 parts: where you would like to live, your family life, and work-study goals. Utilize expressions of emotion, such as those that are on textbook page 30. Ojalá que, espero que, me gusta or me gustaría que, me alegra que, temo que, if you want to be a little, glass half empty, es triste que, es ridículo que. I don't think those are going to be them. I think it's mostly going to be half full, right? Ojalá, quiero que, me alegra que, espero que, me gusta que. Those expressions on page 30 would be very helpful. In addition to the verbs that are on page 67, which are commonly used with adjective clauses, such as the verb buscar, you guys used for your warm-up. Just talk about what you're looking for. Talk about what you need, what you want, what you would like to find, what you hope there is, etc. So, using page 30 and 67, expressions that call for the subjunctive adjective clauses to describe these places or these people or in your life in the future, or the universities that you would like to attend. So, 3 sections: living situation, family situation, work and or study situation. For each of those 3 sections, write 5 sentences for a total of 15 sentences. Utilize the following examples as a model. Quiero vivir en un lugar donde no sea necesario tener un coche. I want to live in a place where. And then this right here is your adjective clause, describing what? The place you want to live. And the fact that you don't know if this place legit exists, or maybe you do, but bottom line, you ain't living there right now. You're not, 3 to 5 years in the future, well into your postgraduate life. So it's that uncertainty that exists fundamentally that calls for the subjunctive, and especially these expressions of hope or desire, or searching or looking for, that require the subjunctive. And notice the subjunctive of the verb ser, and the verb is going to be conjugated according to the subject that you establish in your main clause. Yo busco una ciudad para vivir que tenga un sistema de metro. I'm looking, or I would look, for a city to live that has a metro system. Tenga, subjunctive of tener, conjugated according to your subject, which is una ciudad. Me gustaría estudiar en una universidad donde haya muchos clubes y organizaciones para participar. I would like to study in a university, that is my subject, where there is or there are many clubs and organizations to participate in. Haya is the verb haber, conjugated in the subjunctive here, in the third person singular, in accordance with your subject, in the main clause, una universidad. Ojalá que la universidad de blank me acepte. You guys can borrow this if you want to, whether it's a branch of the military or a particular college or university. Borrow that one. Love to know what your postgraduate plans are, and say, or maybe multiple universities. In that case, it would not be me acepte, it would be me acepten. En, yes? If you're going to mention multiple universities, dream schools that you have. So that would be, these two sentences would be in reference to your work study goals. They focus mainly on study, but you can talk about work. And then family life. No quiero casarme. Casarme is the verb to get married. Hasta que tenga. And again, you're welcome to borrow this one. Fill that one in. How old would you aspire to be until you get married? Busco una persona quien me respecte. I'm looking for a person who, you can borrow that, but change it to a different verb. For me, respect is huge. Respetar in the subjunctive. Me respete, conjugated in accordance to una persona.